Ever feel like you're drowning in financial advice, but you're still kind of unsure how to actually get ahead? Well, today we're diving into a conversation between Jay Shetty and financial expert Jaspreet Singh.
Okay.
We're going to unpack some common money myths that might be holding us back no matter where we are on our financial journey.
Yeah, what I found really interesting is how Jaspreet dives into the mindsets around money.
Okay.
It's not just about crunching numbers,
Yeah.
It's about understanding the psychology and cultural influences that shape our financial decisions.
It's about seeing money as a tool to create the life you want.
Right. Exactly.
And he jumps right into that
Yeah.
with 3 big money myths.
Yeah, the first myth is a classic.
Okay.
The idea that simply saving or spending is enough to build wealth.
Right.
Jaspreet calls this the 2 S's trap.
The 2 S's trap.
Yeah.
So many people get stuck in this, either spending every penny or hoarding it all away.
And the problem with just saving, it doesn't account for inflation, which can silently erode your money's value over time.
That's like running on a treadmill. You're putting in the effort, but not really getting anywhere.
Exactly. He calls it net zero thinking,
Okay.
focusing on what you have right now without a plan for growth.
Right.
And he shares this story about teaching in Detroit where he saw kids instantly spend their paychecks and end up with nothing.
Wow. Yeah.
They just blow through it.
It makes you think about how crucial financial literacy is from a young age. Are we stuck in that cycle? Just spending without a plan for our future?
That's a question we all need to ask ourselves.
Yeah.
Now let's move on to that second myth Jaspreet tackles.
Okay.
That blindly following the traditional path guarantees success. Good grades, good college, good job, climb that ladder.
Right. It's what so many of us are told is the key to a good life. But Jaspreet challenges that assumption,
Right.
starting with his own experience. Growing up, his family believed becoming a doctor was the only path to success.
Whoa.
He even had an MCAT tutor in 8th grade.
Oh my gosh.
But he felt drawn to a different path,
Yeah.
and it started with some unconventional choices.
Yeah.
Even in high school, he was demonstrating an entrepreneurial spirit,
Right.
organizing parties for his friends and making some extra cash. He had that side hustle going on, even keeping it under wraps from his parents.
He was sneaking it in.
I know, right? And then in college, during the 2008 financial crisis, things get really interesting.
Okay.
While everyone else was panicking, he saw a unique opportunity.
Interesting.
Remember, he'd been reading business books, and one thing stuck with him. Wealthy people invest in real estate.
Okay.
When he saw property prices plummeting, he took action.
Wow.
At just 19, he bought his first condo for $8,000.
Wow.
That's incredible.
That's amazing.
This wasn't about rebelling against his family. It was about recognizing a different system for building wealth.
Wow.
That experience was pivotal.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about climbing the corporate ladder, but about owning assets that generate income,
Right.
which completely shifted his perspective on money.
And that leads us to that third myth.
Yeah.
Not understanding how money actually works beyond just earning a paycheck.
So it's not just about how much you make, but what you do with it right.
Right.
But how do you break free from that cycle of earning and spending without making progress?
Well, Jaspreet breaks down the difference between money as a currency, something you use for transactions,
Right.
and money as a store of value, something that holds its worth over time.
And in today's world with inflation and market swings, simply holding on to dollars or rupees might not be the best way to preserve your wealth.
Exactly. He uses this fascinating example from Indian culture where people traditionally convert rupees to gold
Oh, wow.
as a way to store their wealth.
It's an instinctive understanding that certain assets hold their value better than a currency that can fluctuate. So the question becomes, are we treating money just as a means to buy things? Or are we using it strategically to build lasting wealth?
It's a critical distinction.
Yeah.
If these money myths aren't the answer, then what is?
Right.
Let's explore the habits of those who've successfully built wealth.
So we busted those myths. What are those habits of the wealthy that help them build real lasting wealth?
Well, Jaspreet stresses the importance of equity,
Okay.
owning assets that increase in value over time or generate income.
He brings up the classic American dream of homeownership, which, as he notes, has become more challenging for many people.
Sure.
But the underlying principle of building equity still applies.
Absolutely. Whether it's real estate or something else, it's about having assets work for you. He introduces a wealth formula that I found super insightful.
Okay.
Income expenses investments plus savings.
Okay, at first glance, it seems pretty straightforward,
Right.
but I'm guessing there's more to it than meets the eye.
There's always a deeper layer, right? It starts with a clear understanding of your income and expenses. Where is your money coming from each month, and where is it going?
That's budgeting 101. But then this formula takes it a step further with the investments plus savings component.
Right. This is where you shift from just managing your money to actively putting it to work. It's about creating a surplus in your finances so you have the means to invest and grow your wealth.
So it's not about extreme frugality, but about creating a margin you can direct towards those long-term goals.
Precisely. And there are so many avenues for building equity stocks, real estate, starting a business, even things like gold or cryptocurrency. The right mix depends on your personal goals and how much risk you're comfortable with.
He gives a great example from his own life. When he was younger, he really wanted a Ford Mustang, but couldn't afford one.
Right.
Instead of just dreaming about it, he bought Ford stock.
I love that.
It perfectly illustrates aligning your investments with your interests and beliefs. You don't need to be a Wall Street expert to get started.
Exactly.
And he talks about the magic of compound, how even small, consistent investments can grow exponentially over time. He mentions a janitor and another school worker who both retired millionaires.
Wow.
Their secret: consistently investing a portion of their income, no matter how small, over a long period.
It's like that old saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today.
It reinforces that building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. But I know some listeners might be thinking, that's great, but I don't have enough money to even start investing.
It's a common concern. But Jaspreet emphasizes that you don't need a huge sum of money to begin. He mentions that fractional shares of stock are available for as little as $10.
I've even heard of apps that round up your purchases and invest that spare change.
Yeah.
Every bit adds up.
Exactly. Even Jaspreet started small. He built his wealth gradually, investment by investment. Which brings us to the flip side of that concern, the get-rich-quick mentality.
The allure of overnight success is strong, especially with all the noise out there on social media.
But as Jaspreet wisely points out, building true wealth requires patience, discipline, and a long-term perspective. It's about shifting your mindset from get rich quick to get rich slowly but surely.
Slow and steady wins the race, especially when it comes to finances. But honestly, with all the uncertainty in today's economy, it's easy to get caught up in that anxiety.
Absolutely. Inflation, fears of recession, the markets bouncing around it can make anyone want to hide their money under the mattress. But that's where it's crucial to stay informed and not let fear dictate your actions. Jaspreet stresses the importance of staying calm and avoiding rash financial decisions driven by panic.
It's interesting, he actually says that more millionaires are created during recessions than at any other time.
That's right.
Why is that?
Because during a downturn, assets go on sale. This presents opportunities for those who have prepared and understand how to navigate those waters.
So it's not about hiding, but about having a plan, understanding your risk tolerance, and being ready to act when the opportunity arises.
He also highlights the role of the Federal Reserve, reminding us that their decisions on interest rates and other policies can have a huge impact on the economy, even whether we enter a recession.
He does a great job explaining how the Fed's actions during the pandemic, like injecting trillions of dollars into the economy, contributed to the inflation we are seeing today.
That's right. And while we can't control what the Fed does, we can control how we react and adjust our own financial strategies. He also shares a cautionary tale about the dangers of free money schemes. Remember, there's no such thing as a free lunch, especially in finance.
He's talking about those offers that seem too good to be true.
Right, exactly.
They often pop up during times of economic uncertainty.
Exactly. He points to the pandemic, which saw the largest financial fraud in American history as people and businesses exploited government programs.
His point is clear. Someone always pays the price for free money. And it's often those who are already the most vulnerable and least financially literate. It's a sobering reminder to be wary of those quick fixes and easy solutions. You know, especially when it comes to our finances.
Yeah.
We have to be responsible for our own financial well-being.
Yeah.
But with all this talk about money and investing, it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture.
I agree. And that's where Jaspreet brings us back to a point he made earlier, the importance of investing in yourself.
And he's not just talking about adding another stock to your portfolio.
No, he's talking about investing in your whole self.
Okay.
Your physical health, mental well-being, even your spiritual growth, in addition to your financial literacy. They're all connected.
Yeah. I love the example he gives about choosing to invest in his business instead of buying a fancy car,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
It perfectly illustrates how prioritizing long-term growth and fulfillment
Right.
can be more rewarding than chasing those fleeting moments of gratification. A luxury car might turn heads for a little while, but investing in yourself, that's what brings lasting satisfaction.
It also ties back to his point that material possessions don't equal true wealth or happiness.
Exactly. He even mentions that he drives a $500 car even though he could easily afford something much fancier.
Wow.
And he's not alone. Many successful individuals would rather put their money into assets that generate more wealth,
Right.
instead of depreciating liabilities like a luxury car that loses value the moment you drive it off the lot.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that true wealth isn't about keeping up with the Joneses. It's about designing a life that reflects your values.
Absolutely. And sometimes that means making unconventional choices, like driving a less flashy car so you can invest in your business.
Right.
Or buy that rental property you've had your eye on.
It's about playing that long game.
Yeah.
Making choices today that set you up for financial freedom and a life you love down the road.
Exactly.
As we wrap up this deep dive into financial well-being,
Yeah.
what's one key takeaway that really resonated with you?
For me, it's Jaspreet's emphasis on that interconnectedness between our physical, mental, spiritual, and financial health.
Okay.
We can't compartmentalize these different areas of our lives. They all impact one another.
Absolutely. It's about taking a holistic approach to our well-being,
Yeah.
recognizing that our financial health is just one piece of the puzzle.
Exactly. And it all starts with our mindset.
Right.
Believing that financial well-being is achievable. Being open to learning and challenging those conventional ideas and having the discipline to make consistent, strategic decisions over time.
It's about empowering ourselves with financial knowledge, no matter where we're starting from.
I love that.
So here's a final thought for you to ponder as you move forward on your own financial journey.
Okay.
If you could design your ideal financial future, what would it look like?
Okay.
And what's one small step you can take today to start turning that vision into reality?